Hello, this is Susan Dinkle, and this is my EDL 856 Module 7 assignment. This assignment, we were charged with the task of creating a graphic of sorts that shows that we understand the internal and external publics and the forms of communication that our school district uses with those publics. The creation process that I used was actually using Creately, and I had to use this particular website um, in another class, and so I was comfortable using it, so that's why I went ahead and decided to use that. So when we talk about the forms of our communication, typically we have internal and external communication. So internal communications would be things within our school, where external would be those communications that we are trying to get out of our school. So um, internal communications would be things like what time students need to be dismissed, any sort of issues that are going on within the school that all teachers need to be aware of, meetings that are going on. Those would be types of internal communications. External communications would be things that we need to communicate with our community and our parents. I also put down our league in there, like change of game times, game schedules, leave times, any changes that we have currently to our calendars. And when I'm talking about those sorts of things, I am also talking about the various types of communication that we have available through our district. Those are listed down below. The written communication would be things like email, newspaper, and letters. And I know that email could actually be considered technology, but because there is written documentation, what has gone out, um, I'm going to choose that as a written form. Excuse me. When it comes to technology, we utilize Remind, the app, and our school website. And then oral communications would be things like our phone calls and parent-teacher conferences that we would actually meet face to face with people. I should have put a mask on my mouth now that I think about it. Okay, so when it comes to our internal communications, we have to think about who communicates and how does that happen. So typically at USD 297, our administration will communicate with all of us. Um, that would be the superintendent, the Board of Education, the principal. Those people communicate to us directly as teachers. Then when it comes to our staff and our faculty, I did separate them because not all staff members are privy to all of the information that faculty are privy to, but you also have to consider they're not coming to all of the meetings, and a lot of those um, like MTSS meetings that we're having, the staff are not required to come to. So we have to also take into account that we have those on the elementary as well as the secondary levels, and not all communication needs to be sent out across the board. I don't really care what's going on at the elementary school unless it pertains directly to me. And then finally, we have to communicate with our students. And again, that is done differently for the elementary as well as the secondary kids. So when we're talking external communication, we have to think about the community, our parents, and then I put our league in there, but truly it could have been anybody that we play in athletics or anything of that nature. So community speaking, and even with our parents, our school district gives out a school calendar, and it's a paper copy every single year. Um, the entire community revolves around this school calendar, and without it, we pretty much would fall apart. Sadly, with COVID and everything, our calendar this year, things have been messed up, like with Colorado not being able to play sports. In Northwest Kansas, we play a lot of Colorado schools, and so we had to scramble to find new games. So those are not necessarily accurate from how they once were. So that needs to be communicated to our public and to our parents so they know who are we playing, where are we going, maybe bus leave times. Is there a game tonight? Is there not a game tonight? In fact, last week should have been our homecoming week here. We were unable to have it because our um, game was canceled due to too many injuries on the other team. And so we had to communicate that information, and still people didn't know that there was not going to be a football game Friday night. So that is a real challenge for us. So when we talk about like the various forms of communication, I'm gonna mention written forms. Email is typically sent out to secondary students as well as to their parents. Um, Generally, we certainly don't send those out as a mass email to people in the community. Um, we do communicate a lot with our league schools as well. We give written notifications to our newspapers of changes that are happening. We also consider writing letters to our patrons when, um, specifically parents, um, when something comes up that they need to be aware of. At the elementary school, they do send out a monthly newsletter, and so that is something that's really effective. Technology, um, we use the Remind app, which it's received mixed reviews from us. It's not very easy to use in comparison to how School Way used to be, and our school website, which also is not as well done as it once was. And then our oral communication would be any phone calls for students that we're having troubles with, and parent teacher conferences, as well as just those general communications that we have when we meet up with a student's parent out in public. Um, so, um, to be quite honest, our school district, although we are trying to do better, we are not as strong as we need to be. And I truly blame that on the busyness of our administration. The elementary staff and faculty and the principal down at the elementary school do a much better job of communicating with their parents than we do at the high school level. Um, again, I'm going to blame it on the busyness of the principals, but I honestly think part of it is just him not being very organized and just simply forgetting about it because of busyness. So this is my module 7.